I decided that I wanted to record Tantra Maat's perception of healing. Tried and true, but it's so maybe different than what we've been taught healing is. You know, I'm 71 years old, and I believe and have experienced and continue to live inside of that I am part of a larger reality, that there is an incredible creation that takes care of us and looks after us, and we've lost both our spiritual, our psychological, our emotional, and our biological relationship to that. I do not believe we did that. I believe something happened to us that had us do that, because in all the years of doing consults, I've not yet found someone who intentionally decided to be born to harm themselves. So I just want to start with that I hold the perception of healing to be archaic, and that people are dying from that perception. People are hating themselves because of that perception. People are lost in bodies that don't work, having that perception, and they have no ability to partner with their own consciousness, with their own unity with creation. And that perception, what is that perception? Well, there are many layers to it. One is that we're flawed. It's probably the biggest one. That we're flawed and we deserve to suffer. That's a severe underlying part of this anatomy of consciousness we were born into that is unconscious, lives only to react, can only suffer silently, and uses gratification as a source of joy, not able to tap the inherent unity within their systems. It's not their fault. It's not your fault. We were born into a broken system, and we had to break ourselves to live in that broken system. But now in 2017, things are changing. They'll change more and more over the coming years. And there'll be those that are violently against life, their own, others, and life itself. And there'll be those who begin to tap into life, because it's rising. In the midst of all this chaos, life rises, I think, in a beautiful way. So I decided I'm just going to do a series of videos in my backyard with you, not looking at me, but looking at my yard. And just ask you to consider that there's a way that you can perceive, and that in that perception you can begin to explore and go to work about what could enwhole you, what would be yours to do, what would be yours to take on, what would be yours to find, and who, what kind of practitioner would be yours to work with. So this is July 2nd, 2017, and I promised myself that I'd do this for 10 days, just 5 minutes every morning, just having this conversation, maybe with myself. But in all the years that I've been alive, the most beautiful thing about doing what I do and being what I am and hanging out the way I do is those that are meant to hear find me. Those are meant to see can see. And those that are meant to know can know, because it's in their genetics, not their ancestral genetics, but their genetics of consciousness. And that genetics of consciousness lives in your cells.